Session, we will explore profound questions, who am I, as we delve into the discovery of our goals and values. Joining our expert panel is Tunvey Gogia, a seasoned professional with a rich background in corporate training, executive coaching, NLP practice, and motivational speaking. With 2 decades of experience spanning corporate and media domains, Tunvey Gogia seamlessly combines a deep passion for engaging with individuals and her expertise in facilitating behavioral transformation. Handing over to you now, Tunvey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Payal, for the lovely introduction. For a second, I was wondering, is it me being introduced? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's good to see you, Priya, as well.
Welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me here. And today's topic was quite loaded. And before we begin, if there are any questions, please put them on the chat box, because I'll get a sense of what is it that you're hoping to achieve. Some of you may be working professionals, some of you may not be. So I'm just trying to get a sense of, how many people are working professionals and looking to figure out, their work goals. Or things that, should I be in this job? Should I be changing? Am I in the right field? What should I be gunning for? Am I in the right place? Some of you may not be working professionals. You are contemplating doing something of your own, or may not be contemplating doing anything of your own, but you want to get a sense of clarity as to, why should I get up in the morning, and what's my goal and what's my purpose. So if you guys can give me a little bit of a heads up, that'll be amazing. You can just write homemaker looking at starting work, or working professional looking to get some information. Okay, Mala saying right now not working, wants to understand what next. Anyone else would like to share? All right, Supra is also not working, but looking at figuring out what drives you and what motivates you. So I'm assuming many of you would be not working and trying to figure out. If that's correct, you can just put a thumbs up, or okay, or me too. You all know how to get to the chat box, right? If you're from your phones, there's just, yeah, okay. Kriti, Mala. Anyone else wants to share what they're looking at, or what they're hoping to achieve from this session? You can raise your hand and I can ask you to share as well. Shakunji, I think you've let a fulfilled life, no questions. So you're just exploring and being with us. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be with us, Shakunji. Amita is working currently online. Shagun's running an interior design practice, trying to figure out how to level up and not get overwhelmed. I think that's one across the board. Working but confused with choices. All right. So I think just give me a sense of where I can start from. So today's session is called Not Working. Manu saying not working, but exploring new things. Amita saying I'm also eager to know what's next. Got it. Thank you all so much for sharing. Yeah. So let me explain what today's session is about. I think I was discussing with Meeta and Priya, and one of the things that came up was that a lot of us is just going through the motions. Yeah, Mukta saying I want to start something. So a lot of us want to do something or are currently doing it, but not feeling 100% fulfilled. For some of us, it is we're working, but not sure how to take it to the next level. Do we even want to take it to the next level? Sometimes there is a desire to, but you're in two minds. And all of that comes from fundamentally one spot. When so many of us are demotivated, or you wake up in the morning without any purpose or goal, and we're going through the motions. I'm not saying everybody's in that space, but I know a lot of us have gone through it at some point in our lives, where you're not necessarily excited to wake up in the morning and saying, wow, it's morning, I get to go about my day. Yay, wow, wonderful. It doesn't always happen, right? Kriti's sharing something. Kriti saying highly qualified, but had to take a break and tried exploring many things, but can't figure out what to do. And every day feels, what's the purpose of my life? Yes, I think, Kriti, your story is one of maybe many women, who are educated, well qualified, sometimes took a break for your children's sake, sometimes for health reasons. And you take a break and after the need for the break is over, you are suddenly at a loss of how do I even begin the next stage or the next part of my journey. So like I was saying, that it doesn't matter what space you're in, whether you're not working, whether you're working, just got back to work after a break, or are still on a break. More often than not, that sense of lethargy, that sense of feeling of, not excited to go about your day, you're not really looking forward to the next day. You're not really looking forward to, okay, today's morning, you jump out of bed and you're driven and motivated to gun for something, go somewhere, do something. And that doesn't necessarily have to do only with work, I think you could be a homemaker, a mom, a daughter to your ailing parents. It doesn't matter what role you're playing in your life, but eventually it all boils down to having clarity. Because we are unhappy, dissatisfied, we are not sure what we want to do. There's that sense of apathy or sadness or depression. A lot of it comes from the two images in your head. One is the life that you are currently leading, and the other is the life that you would ideally like to lead. And the life that you want, you're not clear about it. There's just a sense that, this can't be it. How many of you feel like that? Priya, have you ever felt like that? Like, this can't be it. Like, ये नहीं हो सकता, मतलब कुछ तो और होगा, right? There has to be something else. And that dissonance comes from these two stories or these two images not being aligned. जो आप जिंदगी जी रहे हो या जो आपको current feelings हैं versus this small sense inside you saying there has to be something else. Like कुछ तो और होगा. This can't be it. I'm not where I should be. I'm not doing what I should be doing. Like I'm not feeling at ease. There are not always the right words to explain this. Sometimes it's just hard to explain, but there is just this feeling that everything is not where it should be, right? That's a sense I think we can all relate to. Yeah. Amber is, am I pronouncing it correctly? Amber, as in the color amber. Oh, Amber's just joined us. It'll be nice if some of you can put your videos on, just I get to see faces and I get to interact and we get to speak to each other. Oh, wow. So wonderful. Nisha's joined, Kajal. So nice. Amazing. Mukta. Yay. Amita. My bhabhi's name is also Amita. Nisha. Supra. Shakunji. Shakunji. Anjana. So nice that you can all be here. So I'm just saying that most of us have had this feeling that everything is not the way it should be, right? Supra's also here. It's not the way it should be. Hi, Kriti. And when that happens, because we know internally that everything is not where it should be, or I'm not comfortable where I am. And it doesn't mean कि आप दुखी हो, उसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि जी आपकी जिंदगी बड़ी खराब है. On paper, everything would be fine. You could be living a comfortable life and there's no need to complain. But there is just this feeling that there has to be more. Something is not in place. I need to do more, right? That happens when where you are and where you would want to be are not feeling aligned. And before you can define your goal, before you can define where you want to go, what your purpose is, what your values are, what your goals are, I think before you even go there, you have to get to a point where you need to know who you are. Who am I? Most of us will struggle to answer that question. I still don't know if I can define it 100% even now. Despite having worked in the personal development space for so long, it's not an easy answer. But the thing is कि कोई और आके बता भी नहीं सकता. Most of us are hoping कि मैं एक सेशन में जाऊंगी और उस सेशन के बाद एक ऐसा चुटकी होगी यार, एक बल्ब जगेगा और उस बल्ब के बाद मुझे पता चल जाएगा what my purpose is. What's my purpose? What's my goal? Somebody tell me what should be my goal and my purpose. How do I find my purpose? So the point is that finding your goals, finding your purpose, finding out who you are is a process. Now, in the next 45 minutes, I can't take you through it entirely, but I can tell you what are the steps you need to take in order to discover yourself better. Right? That's the goal and agenda of today's session, where I can at least give you an indication. These are the things that you need to start thinking about. These are the things that you need to start, working on to figure out who you are. Because still we are not living authentic lives. And what I mean by authentic lives is till you're not feeling at ease. I think this is the simplest way to explain it. Till you're not feeling at ease with your day, with yourself. You're living two lives. एक बाहर की दुनिया और एक अंदर की दुनिया. The life you're leading for everybody around you and what you feel inside. Until the two are not aligned, it's very difficult to be joyful. It's very difficult to be at peace. It's very difficult to feel happy, right? Mudit is sharing, saying, we all know internally what we would like to do, but many times it's not possible. Feeling unease is natural too. Mudit, you're lucky if you know what you want. A lot of us don't even know what we want. We have an idea of what we may want. But is it actually what we want? I think that is something worth introspecting and investigating, right? So what I want to share with you guys, because we don't have a lot of time, and this is a subject that we can speak for an entire day and maybe a couple of days and still wouldn't cover all of it. But the idea is to get started somewhere, right? So one of the things I think before we can set goals, before we can figure out what our agenda in life should be, what we need to know who we are. And one of the first steps to figuring out who we are is that we need to figure out what do we truly value. What is it that we value, right? And that comes from, there are some people that you like, there are certain things you like about them, and you just say, wo bada acha insaan hai, ya wo meri badi achhi friend hai, yeah, that lady is very nice, yeah. I really like her. But have you really thought about why you like somebody? So I'm going to take you through a set of questions. You can write them as we go along, or you can choose to take the questions down and do them later. So it's really about identifying first, what is it that you truly value? Like somebody, Shakunji says, sincerity. Yes, it's a beautiful emotion, right? We have to figure out what is important for us. Right? For example, you're standing in line at your favorite cafe and you're doing your ritual, which is you go on a Saturday and, you go to a CCD or a barista or somewhere close by, and you say, okay, I'm going to go carry a book. I'll come to you, Kajal, in just a minute. I'll finish this and I'll come to you. You're standing in your favorite cafe, ready to go through your weekend ritual and, nice book or cappuccino, and 4 people are standing in front of you in the queue. And then there are 3 people, and then there are 2, and then out of nowhere, somebody cuts in front of you. Cuts in right in front of you. And the barista who's making the coffee is also a little taken aback, but the person, nobody wants to create too much of a scene. So they serve him since they're going. You're on next, and it should have been your spot. And you mutter to the barista and saying, can you believe that guy? How could he have done this? This is so rude. Sometimes you speak up, sometimes you don't. So many times, no? In an airline check-in queue, somebody cuts in. There are times you turn around and say, excuse me, there's a queue. And there are times when you just keep quiet. Some people keep quiet and some people always speak up. Because maybe you value patience and you value being fair. That guy obviously doesn't value fairness. Otherwise, he would have never cut in line. Right? And every day we make judgments based on our values. They inform our behaviors. They create our understanding of right and wrong. They basically shape how we think, how we act, how we feel. And ultimately, it's our values that help us or guide us to figure out what our purpose in life is. What is it that we want to do with our careers, with our personal lives, even our relationships. We all rely on values. And it's not easy, and it can be possibly a long journey, but it's really important that we start having at least a basic idea of what are our core values. If you're running a business, you need to know what the core values of your business are. And that will help you so much. Any of you who are entrepreneurs, you'll realize there are so many opportunities that come your way. आप हमारे साथ collaborate कर लो, ये वाला project ले लो, वो वाला project ले लो, ऐसा कर लो, वैसा कर लो. And so often we say yes to a project or yes to something, and after that you start feeling uncomfortable. यार इसको हाँ नहीं करना चाहिए था. How many of you have gone through that? Right? When you say, shit, I shouldn't have said yes to this one. It's because you want, and your values and your business's values can be different also. And you can have a different set of values for your work life and a different set of values for your personal life. And values also evolve with age and time and experience. ऐसा नहीं है कि पत्थर की लकीर है. When you're in your 20s, maybe your values are different. When you're in your 40s, maybe they evolve and change to something else. It's fine. But we have to be aware. I have to know what my value today is. What is it that that I value? And especially for business also, you need to have clear values. I value transparency. Maybe I value customer service above all else. You have to know what you value. And when you know your values, even at work, even in your personal life, in your career, you'll find it very easy to say yes. And you'll find it even easier to say no to certain things. It becomes very easy because आपका ना एक formula बन गया है या एक दायरा बन गया है. उस formula या दायरे के अंदर आपको हाँ ना करना बहुत आसान है because it's now clear that this is outside. This is outside my, my boundaries. No, it doesn't matter how lucrative the project is or lucrative the opportunity is. You may turn around and say, no, I don't want to do it because it doesn't align with your values. But you can only know that when you know what your values are. Some of the values are, I'm just randomly giving out some names: altruism, dependability, integrity, generosity, courage, family, you value family, self-respect, adaptability, uniqueness, open-mindedness, flexibility, frugality. You want to be sensible with your spending. Sorry, suddenly my dog's gone crazy. Give me a second. Sorry. My apologies. Self-reliance. These are a few values. Now, and you can see how they'll affect your behavior. If you value humility, you will be less likely to be flashy. Even about your skills. Some people find it very difficult to tom-tom their own goodness. मैं क्या काम करती हूँ या मेरी क्या, you find it very difficult to talk about yourself. And then there are some people who find it very easy to talk about themselves even when they've not done half of what you've done. We all know people like that, right? Because somewhere you value humility, so you're constantly just being humble and you're struggling. You have to go against your values sometimes. But then you have to figure out, how can I be humble and still find a way to talk about myself? But that self-awareness helps. You can't turn us in, I'm very shy. It's not shy. Maybe something else. I'm not a marketing person. It may not even be that. It could be that fundamentally there is a value, that your core value, and you're trying to do something against that value. But when you understand what your core value is, it becomes easy to figure out a way to not dismiss your values. Align with your values, what can you do? So you ask yourself different questions. You don't say, "Arey, main se to marketing apne kaam ki hoti nahi. I can't talk about myself." You'll say, "Okay, I value humility. How can I then, being humble, talk about my work? Okay, let me have a website where I write everything once and for all and people can see what I've done." Maybe I create one video one time and I can send it. You'll figure out ways then. So, put out a notebook and think about the questions I'm going to ask you. You can, like I said, either hear all the questions, answer them later, or you can write them along if you feel like it. Before I start, Kajal, you wanted to ask something. It got answered somewhere? Okay, got it. All right. So one of the things that helps is think of the most meaningful moments of your life. What made them meaningful to you? Who was with you at that time? What were you doing? You can define meaningful however you like it. But it usually encompasses moments where you were at peace and you felt, life was filled with purpose. What were the most meaningful moments of your life? It could be the birth of your kid. It could be a business you started. It could be some marks you got in some college. It could be, it could go back to childhood also. No problem. Just what comes up in your memory. Zyada sochne ki zarurat nahi, just immediately kya aata hai, just write that, right? Think of the moments you felt least satisfied. This is similar to the first question, but this time try to imagine the opposite, right? What were some of the worst experiences in your life? And why were they unfulfilling? मतलब वो अच्छा क्यों नहीं लगा था? अगर you didn't like that moment in your life, why didn't you like it? What was it about that time that is not happy? What were you doing at that point? How were other people behaving towards you? Also, pay attention to what stories inspire you. This is another way. Third one, pay attention to what stories inspire you. Like, what are the kind of movies that you like? What are the kind of articles that catch your attention? Look for people whose behavior you admire or respect. Think about why they speak to you or what that says about you. मतलब आपको उस तरह का बिहेवियर क्यों अच्छा लगता है? कोई चैरिटी करता है और आपको you really like the person. One is somebody saying, "Oh, that lady does a lot of charity. So nice, so nice." एक तो is just the intellectual way of saying she's doing good work. And one is, it's coming from very deep within कि यार मतलब क्या तोड़ू काम कर रही है यार, बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है मुझे. That will give you an idea of what you value. What do you like? Figure out what makes you angry. Yeah, the fourth thing is figure out what makes you angry. You can learn a lot about your values by paying attention to what irritates you. Sometimes we don't like a movie character, or someone in our life upsets us, or we find a certain task very frustrating. That also gives us an indication of what our values are. Imagine your ideal world if you had the power to, and this is the fifth way, imagine your ideal world. If you had the power to shape the world, what would it look like? Like, think of the services you'd like to provide or not provide. How would people treat each other? What activities would they take part in? Chances are that your choices will reflect your values. And the sixth thing is review the accomplishments you're most proud of. Right? Review the accomplishments that you are most proud of. What's missing in my life? If I could become anyone I wanted, yeah, what would I choose to be? and why? If I never had to worry about money, what would I be doing all day? These are a few of the things. Ultimately, your values define the amount of effort you will put into anything, especially if you're starting out a new project. Right? Kajal will share the questions on the chat before it's over. So this gives you an idea of what your values are. Now, in terms of goal, some of us have no goals and some of us have too many things. Ye karu, ye karu, ye karu, ye karu, ye karu, ye karu, ye karu. I think one of the things we can start by doing is, before we, I'll share something with you. Hold on. I'll share a few values. You can screenshot it if you want. This is from James Clear. You can find it on the internet as well. Yeah, James Clear list of values. Authenticity, assertiveness, balance, compassion, challenge, inner harmony, humor, honesty, optimism, patience, peace, self-care, self-respect, spirituality, wisdom, trustworthiness, wealth, reputation, knowledge, respect, love, fame, fun. So these are just a few core values, and you'll have to pick 5 or 10 from these and start thinking about which one you relate to, given the questions that I had given you. Using those questions, you will be able to come up with a basic list. I'm removing it in case somebody wants to screenshot it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gone. So this is one way to get a sense of what is it that you truly value. Now, before you start setting your goals, it's very difficult to set goals in 10 areas of your life. You can't do it, right? It's just crazy. You start with figuring out what is most important. And in order to do that, I'll share the screen. Make a grid like this. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen? These are just some areas of your life. It's not the end of the world. You can make your own grid. It's basically, there's career, there's relationships, there is hobbies, health, spirituality, learning, finances, maybe community service or community contribution, like doing something for people. You don't even have to look at all. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can pick any 5 that you feel are important for you. You can take a screenshot of this. Otherwise, Rohit, if you can screenshot it and maybe share it on the chat, or just list them down. So these are just, you can pick all 8 or you can pick 5 of these. And on a scale of 1 to 9, how happy are you or how satisfied are you in each of these areas? 1 being, or 0 being least satisfied, 9 being most satisfied. Saying I'm okay with my career. I'm at a 5 or a 6. Or somebody saying I'm at a 0. I'm not happy. I have to start something. I have no career, right? Relationships, I'm okay. Somebody say I'm at an 8 or a 9. Relationships could be family or friends. However you define relationships, usually means your inner circle, basically, right? Or somebody is not happy in the relationships at 2 or 3 or 4. Your health could be great or less. So spirituality, like I want to work on my spiritual practice. I want to increase. I want to do more. So how satisfied are you today? Finances, community contribution or community service, right? Removing it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gone. Now, this will give you an idea, when you look at it and you look at once you've made the grid and you made the chart, you'll realize that obviously there will be maybe more than one area in which you want to work on. But when you're just starting out your goal setting, it helps if you pick 2 things, maximum 3 things to work on. मतलब आप पूरा घर एक दिन में नहीं सफा कर सकते. You can't renovate your entire house in one go if you have to live in the same house. कमरा 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 करके हो सकता है. या तो you empty the house, which we can't. We have to live in our body. We have to live where we are. So you can't, you can't turn around and say, okay, I'm going to fix everything. I'll work on my health also, my spirituality also, my career also, my relationship also, my this also, my that. Cannot happen. Ideally pick one thing first as a priority and maybe pick two other things that you can work, because maybe you can work on your health and spirituality together. You can do meditation and then you do yoga. Maybe one odd thing can be your career and your finances can be interlinked. So I'm just saying that you can pick one primary thing and two subsidiary things. Usse zyada mat choose karna. Cannot choose more than that, because you can't focus on so many things. And then it's not, ऐसा नहीं है कि बाकी चीजों पे काम नहीं करेंगे, बाकी चीजों पे भी काम करेंगे, लेकिन अभी इस पर काम करेंगे. Like I said, पूरा घर एक साथ नहीं साफ होगा. पहले एक कमरा ठीक कर लेते हैं, फिर दूसरा भी कर लेंगे, फिर तीसरा भी कर लेंगे. We'll get around to doing all of it, right? So it's important to first figure out which area of your life do you want to work on first. And the reason career and finance are different is because for some people, just doing something is important. For somebody, career में मेरे को CEO बनना है, goal नहीं है, मुझे पैसे कमाने भाई. That is why career and finance have come as separate categories. Because it is not one and the same thing for everybody. For somebody, it's really just having purpose, waking up in the morning, doing something, being part of an organization, contributing to something. It doesn't have to do with earning money. For somebody, it doesn't matter what I'm doing or what I'm contributing to and how satisfied I am doing it. It doesn't matter. I need the best paying package, because for me, money is important right now. So then you also do things that may not come, that may not be your first love. But you need to know and get into it with open eyes. Aankhein khuli decision hona chahiye. It shouldn't be, oh, ho gaya. Say, yes, right now I'm focusing on earning money. It's not my ideal work, but right now priority is to earn money. So I'm focusing on that. Maybe in the next 5 years, once I've hit my financial goal, or 10 years or 8 years or 2 years, then I will look at doing something else. You're clear about it. You don't feel bad that you're doing something you're not happy with. So you know कि अगर मुझे 4 साल रगड़ा करना है, तो रोज के दुख होने की जरूरत नहीं है. You don't have to be frustrated every day. Because you're doing it with open eyes. You're doing it with an open mind. You're clear that the next 3 years I'm focusing. My goal is, this is my financial goal. I want to hit it. And if I have to take up projects that are painful and a little tough to accomplish, it's all right. I'm going to do that. And then you don't have to be frustrated for that time. Why have I taken this? You know exactly why you took up this project. There's no need to feel sad about it. But you didn't get stuck in it. You chose it. And that choice is very empowering. That choice comes when we have clarity. So when you do this little life analysis of sorts, this gives you an idea of, where do I want to start setting goals, or where would I like to start setting goals, right? And whenever you set goals, it's really important that, you know why you're setting the goal. Because more often than not, a lot of goals are not our goals. The goals we set for ourselves are goals, I think I should do this. मेरी एज में तो यही गोल होना चाहिए. किसने बोला? A lot of stuff that we aspire for, a lot of stuff that we gun for as goals are not our goals or to begin with only. They've been given to us either by circumstances or by our conditioning or by just society in general, that yahi hona chahiye na. That's not necessary or compulsory. So it's really important to know, why is that goal important, right? Like, for example, and I'll share something with you. And how many of you have set a goal and never accomplished it? 4 दिन किया, फिर छूट गया. Correct? Me included, so many, not one. Right? Yeah. Supra saying, Anjana saying, I'm saying. How many of you have gunned for a goal and given up somewhere midway, got demotivated, chhut gaya, weight loss journey shuru kari, chhut gayi, kuch new healthy diet, Jaya is also saying, healthy diet shuru kari, 2 din quinoa salad khaya, uske baad chodo, chole bhature khate hain. It happens, right? We gun for something and then we just decide it's just not worth the effort. I want to share something with you. You need to understand how our brain works. Let me see if I can share screen. This is the science of the brain. Okay. Can you see the screen? Can you all see the screen? Okay. Now, forget the left circle. Look at the circle on your right, which says limbic brain and neocortex. The limbic brain is the animal part of our brain. Yeah, the inner 2 circles form the limbic brain. Limbic brain is in charge of feeling, emotions, decision making, things like trust. All of that comes from the limbic brain. The neocortex, the neocortex is the newest part of the brain, the human brain, the Homo sapien brain. ये सबसे नया development है. This is responsible for logical thinking, language, processing high amounts of data, all the ratta that we do in school and college, the neocortex does. But what you have to understand is that decision-making doesn't come from the neocortex. Decision-making comes from the limbic brain, which means that you have been given data why you should quit smoking, why you should eat healthy food, why you should exercise, why you should meditate. You have all the scientific, logical reason, explanation. सब logic मिल गया आपको कि आपको क्यों ऐसा करना चाहिए. डेटा आपके नियोकॉर्टेक्स ने प्रोसेस कर लिया है. लेकिन डिसीजन मेकिंग कौन करता है? नियोकॉर्टेक्स करता ही नहीं है, लिम्बिक ब्रेन करता है. So just because you logically understand something does not mean you will do it. The limbic brain is where feelings are stuck, and the limbic brain has no capacity for language. It can't speak, which is why you say, "Na, I'm feeling something, it's not feeling right. I did it because it just felt okay. My gut feel." Gut नहीं है, वो limbic brain है. मेरे को अंदर से ऐसे ठीक नहीं लगा, मुझे अंदर से ना ठीक लगा. There was all the reason to sign the paper, but I just didn't feel good about it, so I didn't sign it. Because decision making comes from the limbic brain, and the limbic brain can't really express. It doesn't have any capacity for language, so it can't tell you why you're doing what you're doing. Like it's difficult. So neocortex, logical thinking, language, understands data, science, सब समझ आता है, लेकिन decision making limbic brain करता है. तो आपने decide किया कि जी मैं क्या करूं? What will I do? I will follow healthy diet. I will wake up early every day. I will follow the Sattvic movement 21-day workshop. I will eat dinner by 7:30 every day. I will not eat after 7 o'clock. I will do intermittent fasting. I will start writing my new book. I will whatever. But the point is that the decision to do it, to actually do something, doesn't come from there. It comes from the limbic brain. It comes from why you're doing something. So this is not hocus pocus. A lot of people say, you should know why you're doing it, not how you're doing it. Why? It's based in science. If you don't know why you're gunning for something, chances are you will not gun for it. Because what does the why do? The why creates emotion. For example, there is, who are the 2 guys in that 5-star ad? Ram Sham, what are their names? Ramlal, Shamlal. The 2 brothers, what are they called? I'm forgetting. Okay, forget it. So I'll say Sita and Geeta, since there are only women on the group right now, most of you, right? So now Sita's goal is, I want to earn 2 crore rupees. And she gets an opportunity. And Sita's told that, okay, no, I don't want to use Sita. This is being live streamed. Somebody will turn around and let's use Ramu, and Shamu is fine. Right? So Ramu's goal is, I want to earn 2 crore rupees. And he's given an opportunity that you have to go to GK market for 6 months, every day, morning and evening, do jhadu pocha, like clean the market. And at the end of 6 months or at the end of 1 year, you will be given 2 crore rupees, guaranteed, signed, stamped. You will definitely get it. What is Ramu likely to say? Forget Ramu. What are any of you likely to say? Anjana, will you do it? Chances are you will not. You'll turn around and say, हाँ 2 crore रुपए कमाने हैं, but ऐसे नहीं कमाने. ऐसे नहीं कमाने. Okay? Now, Shamu also has a goal of earning 2 crore rupees. And, but he has a why. He has a reason. His reason is, I want to send my daughter to a college abroad. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes for her to have a world-class education. Whatever it takes. He's given an opportunity. You have to go to GK M-Block market and do jhadu for 1 year. But guaranteed at the end, you will get 2.5 crores. Or 2 crores. What do you think he's likely to do? He's probably likely to take up that idea. Because for him, there is an emotion attached to the 2 crore rupees. And the emotion is his daughter going to an Ivy League college or to go into a college. For him, it is अंदर से मतलब emotionally वो आ रहा है कि भाई कुछ भी करूंगा ये तो चाहिए मुझे. उसके लिए वो 2 crore रुपए कमाना आसान है. Oprah Winfrey said it. I think I did a reel on my Instagram on it as well. You know, where Trevor Noah was actually interviewing Oprah Winfrey, and he said that you interviewed literally every famous person on the planet. And what is the one thing that you found is common to all of them? And she said they knew exactly what they wanted. They knew what they wanted. Most of us don't know what we want. The guy who knows I need 2 crore rupees to send my daughter to college is very clear about his goal, and he has an emotion attached to the goal. Because his emotion is attached, the neocortex gets involved and the decision gets made. When there is no emotion attached to your decision, you don't follow through on it. In order to attach an emotion to your decision, you need to know why. And if there is no why, chances are that goal is not important for you. Think of another goal. Supra, you were asking something. Go for it. Somebody will have to unmute her, I think.
So my question is, I know what I want in life. Taking the present scenario, I don't have enough financial freedom to pursue that.
Okay.
So how to go about that? I want to be an image consultant and I want to participate in Mrs. World. So it is clear in my mind. Like you told me, even if somebody doesn't give you any money and you don't have anything, I'm pretty sure about it. I want to do this in life. So fashion comes to me naturally. What has been done since I come from a very conservative family, it has been suppressed over the time. And to top it all, my husband is, you can say, he also did the same thing. So I actually kept my dreams aside, but I want to pursue them now. I'm blessed with 2 kids, younger one being 10 months old. So I'm clear about my goal, but I don't know how to start. So could you please throw some light on that too?
So I think it's true for many of us. Our goals or the end goal that we want to achieve is very far off. It could be a monetary goal. It could be a personal goal. And it is something that you're not being able to visualize the roadmap to it. कि मुझे रास्ता ही नहीं दिख रहा. मुझे यहाँ जाना है, मैं यहाँ हूँ, लेकिन मुझे वो रास्ता ही नहीं दिख रहा. पूरा रास्ता आपको कभी भी नहीं दिखेगा. ये मेरे से आप लिखवा लो. I can bet my life and my bank balance on it. पूरा रास्ता आपको कभी भी नहीं दिखेगा. But what you can focus on, and you have to make a list of what can you do right now.
I've already done that also. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong somewhere. So what I feel, I'm an MBA. I'm a BTech and MBA. And what I've thought of that I can enter HR field. I mean, as a human resource executive or something. So that, since I'm not working presently, I'm starting somewhere. And this will help me in my larger goal, which is to be an image consultant. So image consultancy is just not about fashion only. It's overall your personality.
I understand what you're saying, Supra. So what I'm trying to say is you're still jumping 3 steps ahead.
Okay.
Because starting in HR would mean somebody giving you a job when you've been on a break for 8, 10 years. Or 6 years or 5 years or whatever, right? The point is that you're still jumping ahead. That let me start in HR, and you're saying, but mere se ho nahi raha, HR mein shuru kaise karu? You're still jumping ahead. Right now, immediately, what is in your hands? Can you make a resume?
Yeah, so I've already done that.
Done. Can you share the resume to 10 people?
I want to not 10, but 3. Yeah.
Share it to more, do some cold LinkedIn writing to people. If you really want to start in HR, then you register on a couple of, websites. You can go and hire a consultant who can get you a job, who can get you a freelance gig, or you can work with an HR consultant as an assistant, or just say that I want to intern with you and learn from you. Maybe somebody in your network is into HR. My point is that you have to, at the end of the day, focus on, this is true for everybody. If you can't run, and Martin Luther King said that, if you can't run, you walk. If you can't walk, you crawl. You start with where you are. Pura rasta kabhi bhi nahi nazar aayega. You can only focus on one step. The next step. What can I do right now? What can I do in the next 30 days? That is in the direction of where I want to go. In the direction. अभी पता नहीं कैसे पहुंचूंगी वहां से, कितना लेफ्ट राइट आएगा, कितने फ्लाईओवर आएंगे, कितनी टनल आएगी, आई डोंट नो. बट कैन आई टेक दीज 3 steps or can I take these 2 steps? And those steps have to be things that are in your control. What can you do? The next step cannot be somebody giving you a job. The next step cannot be somebody giving you money to start your business. The next step cannot be somebody giving you something. It cannot be anything that is not in your control. You have to focus with what is in your control right now. I can pick up the phone and talk to 3 friends and saying, can you lend me money? You can't say 3 people will give me money. That cannot be your next step. Next step can be कि भाई मैं किसी से phone कर सकती हूँ. I can make 10 phone calls and request. I can speak to some bank people and request and ask whether I'm eligible for a loan. That is in your control. वहां से क्या आएगा वो आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है. तो जब आप एक रोड मैप बनाते हो अपने गोल के जाने के लिए, you can't focus on jumping 3, 4, 5 things or focusing on milestones that are not in your control. Somebody giving you a job is not in your control. You applying for jobs is in your control. You going and networking and joining platforms like Women Listed, where you can network with people, you can go to some of their networking events, meet people, talk to people, figure out. That is in your control. What will come from the other end is not in your control. It's like आप exam देते हो, result आता है. आपका next step result नहीं हो सकता. आपका next step सिर्फ आपकी preparation हो सकती है. Does that make sense? So you need to have a clear why, because when you don't have clarity of why, and that why and values will eventually all match up, but you need to know why are you doing what you're doing. I want to lose weight. Why do you want to lose weight? What will you gain when you lose weight? What will you achieve? What will it make you feel? How will it make you feel? I want to lose weight because that's what that's what Instagram is telling me, and all of these, women wearing these clinched waist, छोटी-छोटी कमर की सब पहन के घूम रही है, अच्छा लग रहा है. लेकिन is that important for you? And if you decide that no, I'm going to feel like $1 million, I really want to do it, you'll follow through also. But fundamentally, if you realize that looking good, appearance, or even health is not a core value for you, you will struggle to maintain a healthy diet, even when you know it's not good for you. Maybe something else is important right now. So that's how you gun for a goal, that you first get clarity on who you are. What are my core values? What is important to me? Second is you do an analysis of your current life and say, okay, in which area do I want to focus my next 6 months, 9 months, 3 months on? And within that space, create a goal. And clear goal will help you achieve it faster. When you say weight loss, you can't say, I want to lose weight. You have to say, I want to lose 5 kgs in the next 3 months. You have to be smart goals, specific, measurable. Aisa pata hai na? I don't know if all of you know it, but if you Google smart goals, you'll get lots of stuff. SMART stands for specific, measurable, A is for achievable, R is for realistic, and T, I don't know what's what. What is T? Somebody tell me what's T. Kajal has T. Oh, time bound. Ha, time. See, I forgot. Abhi unhe bola bhi. 5 kgs in 6 months. Yeah, time bound. So the goal, but before you get to the SMART goal, there's some homework that you need to do. It's like जब आप खेती बाड़ी करते हो तो पहले गुड़ाई होती है, फिर बीज बोते हैं. If you plant or throw seeds on a road, it will not, थोड़ी grow करेगा. जो जमीन ready होती है, उसमें जब आप seed डालते हो, that's when the tree comes out. So when your mind is fertile and the homework has been done, the godai has been done, then when you sow the seed of a goal, you will find that it will flourish and, flowers and trees and fruits will come out of it. So it's important to do the homework prior to goal setting. Who am I? What do I value? What area of my life do I want to focus on right now? Start with that. And sit down, make a list. You want to make a list of all the areas of your life? It's fine. Just say that, okay, these are my goals across all these categories. Lekin right now, I'm going to focus on this one. बैठ के लिखना है, सबके लिख लो. Ideally, spiritually, मुझे ये करना है, physically, मुझे ये करना है, financially, मुझे ये करना है, career में मुझे ये करना है, relationships, मुझे ये करना है. No problem. Write them all down. But when you're working on it, you can't work on 8-10 things at the same time. If we were that disciplined, we wouldn't be where we are in life or that focused. So start with one area. You can write them all down, but focus on making a change in that one area. So if, let's say, you have written, I want to be, I'll share what was just shared right now. You want to be in, Mrs. World, and you want to be an image consultant. That's the ultimate goal. Now, you want to be there in a year's time. Let's say, this is where I want to be in a year. Or this is where I want to be in 2 years. Right? What can I do? Where do I need to be in a year's time? अगर मुझे 2 साल में वो achieve करना है, तो मुझे 1 साल में कहाँ होना पड़ेगा? मुझे 6 महीने में कहाँ होना पड़ेगा? और अगले 3 महीने में, next 60 to 90 days में, मैं अभी, given my current skill set, my current capabilities, what can I do today in the next 30 to 60 days that will help me take one step in that direction? Because when you focus on what you can immediately do, I can make this many phone calls, I can connect, I can network, I can do this, I can do that. Aap 4 cheezein karo. Maybe to generate money or funds, there are so many people who are doing these small editing courses, and they are reaching out to people on Instagram with 5,000, 8,000 followers and saying, I can help you edit your Instagram reels. It takes very little skill to put it together. Aajkal to itne software aa gaye. You can manage somebody's social media. People are paying 6,000, 8,000, 10,000. It's not a lot of money, but if it's really about generating funds, you can start small. Nobody will give you 50,000 retainer on day one. But you can take small accounts which have 5,000, 8,000, 10,000 followers. It doesn't matter whether they're fake or not. You just call them up, write to them. You write to 10 people or 20 people, one person will respond back. One person will respond back. Whoever responds back, Ask them that, I'll do your monthly social media management for 6,000, 7,000 rupees. I know so many college students who are managing social media accounts. They're just doing posting and making graphics on Canva, and they charge 6, 7, 8,000 rupees. JNU में पढ़ रहे हैं, जामिया में पढ़ रहे हैं, और ऐसे 5-6 लोगों को पकड़ा हुआ है उन्होंने, 10 लोगों को पकड़ा हुआ है जो 6-6 हजार रुपए देते हैं, महीने के 60,000 रुपए कमा रहे हैं, अभी कॉलेज भी नहीं छोड़ा है. 6,000, 8,000 is not too much for somebody to spend on a new person, on a fresher. Start there. You can start earning 50, 60,000 rupees a month. Won't be immediate, but in 6 months, can it happen? Very easily. There are so many skills out there today. You can be a freelance voiceover artist. You can be a freelance content writer. There are websites like Fiverr, freelancer.com, so many where you can do small, small things and start generating the funds. But the point is that we all want to jump. And you have to understand that you can take goals in two ways. Either you can look at your goal as an end goal, as a destination, कि मुझे यहाँ पहुँचना है, or you can look at your goal as a way to improve and grow in the process of achieving your goal. Because that goal is driving you. I need to try this. Achha, this didn't work. Let me try something else. And your entire motivation is on moving towards the journey towards the goal. And when your focus is on the journey towards the goal, your focus is on, when the focus is on applying to, working or focusing on growth, you'll find that you're improving. Because what does it tell you? Like right now on the chat, Hemlata has shared, I'd applied to 50 companies, but nobody gave me a job, right? Now, if 50 companies and nobody's given you a job, what does it tell us? It tells us that, okay, I need to improve. Maybe the letter that I have sent is not appropriate. Maybe I need to do a better cover letter. Maybe I need to remake my CV. Maybe I need to, speak to an HR consultant and say what is missing in my job profile. Maybe there's a small online course I can do that can add value to my resume. I can build my profile a little bit. Could be a free course, but it adds value to your resume. Aajkal to itne अच्छे colleges free courses de rahe hain. Can do a small course. So when you apply, when you say my goal is to get a job, apply to 50 companies, it didn't happen. What am I supposed to do? No, she's written, this elevated my mood. Okay. But just one company sent me a letter saying they don't have an opening. This elevated my mood. I was happy with that response, but doubt nobody gave a job. At least one company responded. Great. That's a good attitude to have, Hemlata, that at least you're saying, okay, somebody responded. Great. But it also is an indicator. Where can I improve? What can I do better? How can I improve my pitch? Do I need to improve my cover letter? Do I need to improve my resume? Do I need to do a course? So irrespective of what your goal is, the minute you make the goal about the journey and not just about the end destination, then you're looking at growth. Then you're not looking at just, are nahi hua, oh, you'll not get demotivated. You'll not get demotivated, right? Please throw some light on FOMO, especially with social media, how I can impact the journey towards working. So I think it's so important to do a social media detox, Anjana. It is so important. I'm also on Instagram. I, in fact, was off social media for many years. Last year, I started posting because I realized that I have something to say and I want to help and contribute. And till I'm not visible, there's a very small or very limited number of people I can impact. So I finally got on social media after many years, 5-6 years. I got back, started posting, and people liked what I had to say. I'm at, I think, 30 or 40,000 followers. I'm not sure how much where I'm at, but somewhere there. And when I started posting on social media, goal ke baat mein, I had no goal of a number of how many followers I want. I wasn't looking at how many likes I'm getting. I had something to say and I said, let me say it. If somebody likes it, they'll follow. Honestly, I got so many messages on buy followers, we'll get you guaranteed. Every one of my followers is organic. everyone. I have done nothing, not purchase, not nothing, because my goal was not to get to 30,000, 20,000 followers. My goal was I want to do good work. Kisi ko acha lagega, they'll follow. But in the process, I improved. There were some reels that did better. There were some reels that didn't do as good. So it gave me an idea of, okay, this is working. This is not working. This is what people want to hear. This is what they want. This is helping. It gave me an idea of what works, what doesn't. So you just look at your mistakes. Thank you, Anjana. You look at your mistakes and you try and improve. Right now, so far as FOMO is concerned, so like I had to be on social media because for work I'm on social media. But one of the things I have done is that I have done a full digital detox. You open my feed, it's only positive stuff, good stuff. There is nothing else. मेरी feed पे और कुछ आता ही नहीं है. लोग बोलते हैं, अरे तुमने देखा वो कौन सा झुमका गाना है? मैं कहा मेरी feed पे तो आता ही नहीं. It doesn't come on my feed. There are people who are, who are my acquaintances or whatever. And if I feel that their posts trigger me or make me feel bad about myself, I've muted them. They're still there. But मैंने mute कर दिया. मुझे नहीं रोज दिखता. मुझे देखना ही नहीं है. Why should I open my Instagram and खुद जानबूझ के put myself through something that doesn't make me feel good? Because Instagram is not true. So many people you will know their real life and their Instagram life. I know couples where they're writing the love of my life. I wouldn't be anywhere without you. And I know for a fact that, there are loggerheads, talware nikli mein. How many of you know people like that? I love you, my baby, my darling. And there is no baby darling in real life. You know that for a fact because you know them. Correct? तो वो तो सच है ही नहीं ना. Because Instagram पे तो everybody is on vacation, काम तो कोई कर ही नहीं रहा है. या कॉफी शॉप में बैठे हैं या रेस्टोरेंट में बैठे हैं और या हॉलीडेज पे चले गए हैं. काम तो कोई कर ही नहीं रहा है. सबकी जिंदगी बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल है. So I think you have to be, today's the day and age where there is just too much information. Too much on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and everywhere. There's just too much information. And you really, really need to be the curator of your own life. What do I mean by curator? You need to be surgeon-like precision, cut out the things that are not adding value. Khach, 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 khach. If you can't do it with surgeon-like precision, start by being a butcher. Mota mota to kata. फिर धीरे धीरे surgeon बन जाना. So the only way in which you can manage FOMO is, well, one of the ways in which you can manage FOMO is limit your exposure really to things, to people, to accounts that don't make you feel good about yourself. Anything that doesn't make you feel good about yourself, mute it or unfollow it. You don't need it. What will you miss out? अभी आलिया भट्ट कहाँ हॉलीडे पे गई है और उसके कौन से उसने कपड़े खरीदे हैं और क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है? उसका एयरपोर्ट लुक देखा? मैं तो किसी का एयरपोर्ट लुक नहीं देखा. मुझे देखना ही नहीं है. मेरा एयरपोर्ट लुक इज ट्रैक सूट और स्नीकर्स. So I think we have to take responsibility. Nisha, so right now, social media is a bane or a boon. You can choose the content you want to see. So true, right? You need to be the architect of your own life. Absolutely, Bindu. It's so important because कोई बाहर से नहीं आएगा ये करने के लिए कि कोई मेरा Instagram fix कर दे, कोई मेरी life sort कर दे, कोई मेरे को goal दे दे, कोई मेरे को purpose create कर दे, कोई मेरी values बता दे. कोई नहीं आने वाला है. You have to figure this shit out for yourself. Life is a do-it-yourself project. A DIY. Nobody's going to come and fix it. And I know a lot of us want to I do this course and get fixed it. But most courses will only tell you what to do. You still have to do it yourself. A dietitian can give you the diet. You have to follow it. A doctor can write the prescription. You have to eat the medicines. So even when it comes to goal, I think just having a goal in life is important, whether you're working or not. Your goal in life could be to be a beautiful human being. And then you figure out, okay, what are the ways in which I can be a beautiful human being? I want to be a helpful person, or I want to contribute to society. Could be a goal. Make a list of how can you contribute? What are the things that are in your control that you can do right now? Right? Not all of us can become people Baba overnight. But you can start somewhere. So every goal doesn't have to be related to work, career, or money. It could be other things as well. But till you don't have any emotion attached to your goal, you will find कि आप 2 दिन करोगे फिर छोड़ दो. So if you truly want to achieve and accomplish something, it will only happen like that, right? We've run out of time. If there are any quick questions, please let me know. Yes, Amita. So true. Anjana saying, let me start with butchering right away. Go for it. Start the butchering. Butcher away. Cut out everything that is not making you feel good. Any questions? Okay. If there are no questions, I'll hand over back to the women listed team. Thank you all so much for having me. I wish you all the very best. May you all live purposeful lives and figure out what drives you and motivates you, and you wake up inspired every morning and not demotivated and lethargic.
Thank you, Tanvi. It was lovely hearing you. I mean, we have taken so much. Now we have to sit down, figure out, and probably come back to you, because one session is not enough, but look forward for many more.
Yeah, today we could just cover the surface level of it, because in fact, we're going to be doing a deep dive at the retreat that we are planning. The dates have shifted, I think, but the new dates will be announced. We're doing a 2-day retreat close by in Delhi. I think Priya will be able to give you more details on it. But we're doing a retreat for 2 days where we will be talking a lot about some of this stuff, as well as financial planning and management, and how to figure out your mindset and how to handle anxiety and stress, as well as some of the things that we've spoken today about goal and purpose in more detail.
But we haven't decided yet, but soon we'll come out with the dates when we are doing the retreat. But we'll be doing soon.
Done. Sounds good. Thank you all so much. Wish you all the very best. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.